Yes, hello. My name is Sanjay. And in today's video, I am going to talk to you about several things. And I mapped them out in a bullet type form here. Okay. First and foremost, we are going to talk about Maharishi's absolute theory of defense, which I have right here, which, because of the stupid way this Apple mic is made, it looks backwards, so you can't really read what it says. It looks like a bunch of gibberish. But what it says is Maharishi's absolute theory of defense by His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Okay? Sovereignty in invincibility. Yes. Heaven on earth. Now this is a book that a friend of mine let me borrow some time ago. Now he's off in Chicago. And it is quite an interesting book that I've glanced through, and we are going to talk about that. Okay. And if you are in doubt that I am in fact Indian, and not in fact just Zion Roberts goofing around, well, I also have another Indian artifact right here called The Death of Vishnu, okay, by Manil Surre, author of The Age of Shiva, okay, a national bestseller, and I don't remember what it's about, I just had it around. And also, this will also prove that I am in fact Indian, and not just culturally appropriating, quote-unquote, things from the Indian culture. It is a spirit wheel or something, and this is for good luck. It's meant to give you good luck, and what you're supposed to do is to follow the law of three, because as we know through different cultures, I apologize for my voice breaking, it's unrelated. As we know in different cultures, there's the law of three. As we know in Christianity, there's the Trinity, you know, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, okay? And then in the Wiccan culture, there's the law of three, which means that if you send out 3 good vibrations, 3 good peaceful things, you will get kindness returned to you in threes, okay? And what you're supposed to do with this little thing is you're supposed to spin it like such, and be, peace be with you. Hear that? Okay? And then next you go, good vibrations. You know, sort of like the Beach Boys song? Okay. And then you say, thank you. Please bring peace to me again. Thank you. Okay. That's a law of threes. Okay. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm going to sing Beach Boys for no apparent reason. Sorry about that. Here we go. I'm talking about the good vibrations. I'm looking for the good vibrations. I'm trusting in Hare Krishna. Did you know that Krishna is just Christ in Indian? They are essentially the same character. I bet you didn't know that. The more you know. Okay. Now, yes. Let's get into that. And then I'm going to talk about, okay, well, let's not jump ahead here, okay? Let's just get back on track, okay? Now, first and foremost, Maharishi's absolute theory of defense. Now, I'm going to stop that because that is a little distracting. It's slightly more atonal than what I, as an Indian person, am used to in my sitar music, okay? Now, this book is by a man named Maharishi. Now, Maharishi, I believe is a yogi. I don't know that much about this person. But I believe he's a yogi, like me, okay? I'm a yogi, okay? I like to yogi around, like Yogi Bear, okay? I like picnic baskets, you know, because the way to inner peace is to eat as many picnic baskets as you can. Okay. Now, Maharishi in this book, essentially what he is talking about is that if you want to protect yourself from enemies, what you need to do is not create enemies, okay? Now, personally, this has not been something that I personally have been particularly good at, because I'm what you say, a troll. I'm a bit of a troll. I don't know why, it just ever since for the last 10-15 years, I like to, you know, how you say, I'm sorry I turned into an Italian man there for a minute. I like to, how you say, go on the interwebs and, you know, just fuck around. And sometimes my opinions are, you know, not the most politically correct and not the most kind always. But, you know, I don't intentionally go out of my way to fuck around, as you know. I just, you know, it just sort of happens, okay? You know, and I'm very stubborn and I'm very passionate about my beliefs, okay? And sometimes what ends up happening, I become so heated and so passionate about my beliefs that sometimes I inevitably create enemies, okay? So, if anyone could learn from old Maharishi, it's probably myself. Okay, but I have a few things. Now, I'm going to read a few chapters. But not really, just to read a little bit from this. Okay. Page 72 from Maharishi's Absolute Theory of Defense is How and Why the Enemy is Born. Okay, let's go. Oh, sorry about that. I forget about that. How is the enemy born? The answer is very simple and can be summarized in a well-known phrase. As you sow, you shall reap. If we have friends, it is because we have extended friendliness to them. If we have enemies, it is because we have reflected negativity onto them and is now coming back to us. Oh, how do I know that? I am the king of burning bridges. But, you know, you live, you learn, you get glad bags, and as we know, all glad bags are the best kind of bags for putting your trash into, okay? Now, if you sow apple, you reap apple. I'm not sure what that means. You know, I don't know how you reap an apple, but we'll just go with it. If you sow orange, you reap orange. Again, I don't know what he is talking about here. But I think you get the basic gist, of it, okay? A stressed man will always create, in his own mind, doubts about others. Oh, I'm a king of paranoia. I'm a paranoid man. I'm a paranoid android, like the Radiohead song, you know what I'm saying? So I know all about that. Because of stress, his comprehension is narrow. So he loses contact with the elements outside his perception and comes to a wrong decision. The more the stresses, the worse the situation and the more number of enemies that will be created. How true. If there are problems, examine your own situation, closely analyze your thoughts and actions, and make sure you are not violating natural law. Life is a delicate balance in view of natural law. Do not do anything which you know to be wrong according to your Dhamma. Performance according to natural law. Yes, I do agree with this. I do believe in karma. And these days, if I create enemies, it's because I am so passionate about my beliefs and my personal concept of morality that sometimes it's inevitable that you will just create enemies, you know what I'm saying? Okay? Through Transcendental Meditation, you know, I apologize for my itchy nose. I am on Kratom right now, and Kratom gives me some slight allergies, alright? Through Transcendental Meditation, stresses disappear and only those values blossom which increase cordiality, love, and friendship. A happy awareness dawns, which can only have positive thoughts and results. Damn, my nose itches. Forget about that. Okay, so as you know, probably some of you have heard about Transcendental Meditation. Transcendental Meditation has been made famous by the famous. It's been made famous. Anyway, sorry about that. I lost my mind there for a second. It has been made famous by David Lynch, the director. As we know, Mr. David Lynch does not do drugs of any kind, and he gets his crazy surreal ideas from Transcendental Meditation. You just sort of go like this and go,
What shall I think of today? A man with no arms, balancing on a desk chair that is drifting out in a sea full of Coca-Cola. And Dale Cooper pops out of the water, and he's got his whole mouth is full of golden teeth, like some, like Riff Raff, like Riff Raff the rapper. And apparently Dale Cooper has gone off the deep end again and turned evil again, and this time around he is looking a lot like Riff Raff, or that character that James Franco played in Spring Breakers. Yes, and this is going to be in the next Twin Peaks reboot. Okay.
See, it's just that easy. See, that's basically what David Lynch does. Okay. He sits like this and he talks like that, and ideas just come to him. It's crazy. Because here's, speaking personally for me, why I don't do drugs anymore. Aside from kratom and eventually medical marijuana, once it's legalized in old West Virginia, or I move to Pennsylvania or someplace that has it. Because when you are a truth seeker, dedicated to the truth, who uses entertainment, whatever it may be, music, comedy, dramedy, G BJ, doesn't matter. It is quite dangerous when you're an entertainer who speaks truth to power. Because the CIA, and the FBI, and the Illuminati, and all these other dorks, will eventually be out to get you, because in many ways they are out to get all of us. Okay? Sooner or later, it's like the old parable that, when they came for the, when they came for the such and such, I did nothing because I was not the such and such. When they came for the other such and such, I did not say anything because I was also not the other such and such. Okay? But then they came for me, and then I could not do shit because, I was being a pussy-ass bitch. So the moral of the story is, don't be a pussy-ass bitch. Stand up for your beliefs. No matter the consequences, okay? Alright. I'm going to take a drink of LaCroix. LaCroix! The drink of champions! Actually, I would not recommend LaCroix because I heard it's got some BP or some bullshit in it. I call it BS. Bullshit. But anyway, I've been meaning to cut off the LaCroix, so anyway, never mind all about that. Okay. But here's the thing. Oh, sorry. Let's get back into the other... It's, Maharishi. See, the thing about this, he actually wanted to teach this theory of defense to the military. And I'm going into this. He was an idealistic man, but perhaps a little bit naive, and I'll get to why about this. He was on page 75 of Maharishi's Absolute Theory of Defense. Excuse me. Victory before war. A practical strategy of military action. My offer is a very practical one. At almost no cost, the military of any nation can become forever victorious and can make its nation invincible. Now, perpetual safety and progress can be easily structured. My program also enables the military to fulfill its national duty of ensuring that coherence within the nation does not decrease. As a result, victory will be maintained before war without any effort at all. My Vedic strategy of defense, based on the invincible power of nature in the field of self-referral consciousness, is a joyful offer and a spirit of warmth and friendliness to the military of every nation to rise to the challenge of the time. I invite the government and military of every country to take up this offer, bless their nation with invincibility, and create a world of invincible, sovereign nations. Invincibility to every nation from every other nation in the world, a beautiful concept of balance of power belonging to every nation. Now, there's something else. Okay. Yes. The invincible force of nature. The only effective defense is prevention. That means disallow the birth of an enemy. That means we must learn how to be friends with nature, because natural law is the only invincible force. The nation can be invincible only when national life is behaving in accordance with all the laws of nature. That is possible only when the consciousness of the people is trained to spontaneously think and act accordingly to natural law. The practical technology for achieving this is Transcendental Meditation, practiced by the people. I am offering this new technology because it is the only simple, effective procedure for life to progress in the evolutionary direction of natural law. The means of destruction available today are too many for us to take any risks. The introduction of Transcendental Meditation in all fields of national life will create coherence in national consciousness, and creating a prevention wing in the military will create an invincible armor for the nation and will give the Defense Department the ability to fulfill its goals. 1 to 5% of the military, trained in the technology of consciousness, my Vedic technology of defense, will be enough to make defense perfect, which means no enemy will be born to the nation. My formula for prevention in the field of defense concerns itself only with the domain of consciousness. It is completely impartial. It offers the military in every nation the chance to rise to invincibility. Now, there are a few other things, but I don't remember where they are. Okay. But here's the problem with that. Now, I don't know when Maharishi wrote this book, but he was perhaps unaware of the overall influence who pulls the puppet strings of the military-industrial complex. Because here's the deal. The military-industrial complex wants war. They don't want to prevent war. Because if they prevented war, they would be out of business, okay? Now, if you're in the conspiracy field, you've probably heard about the Rothschilds. You know? One of the most famous living members is Jacob Rothschild, but there are many others. Their legacy has gone on for about 1,000 years or so. And what they used to do, and what they still do, in fact, is pay both sides of a war. Not just bigger wars like the Allied versus the Axis of Evil in World War II, but also cultural wars, such as what we see now, with the left, particularly the extremist far left, versus the right, particularly the extremist far right. Now, they like to seed division and pay both sides of wars because many reasons, honestly. Because if people are divided amongst each other, they can't unite and take them down and truly fight the globalists, in other words. That's a major reason. Another major reason is that they make money from it, obviously. So, you know, they're reptilians, basically, the satanic Luciferian reptilians, and they like to eat baby flesh. You know, they like to have as many baby flesh as they want, and they like to swim around in pools of gold and money, and get their dicks sucked off by, you know, the most lavish prostitutes, and have eyes wide shut style orgies, okay? And these are the things that they get up to. So they have no souls, essentially, and they're complete psychopathic sociopaths, and so they swim in gold and blood and seminal juices from orgies and shit. Because they're sick fucks. They are sick fucks, okay? They are sick fucks. They are sick fucks. Yes. So they can never have enough money, you know? And what is the other reason? Oh yes. War is a form of blood sacrifice. Now I may have talked about this before, I'm not too sure, but war is a form of blood sacrifice. By now, those of us in the conspiracy field all know about Pedogate, They know about, sacrificing children and women and all this sort of thing. But what you may not realize is that war is also a blood sacrifice. Okay? And I'm gonna stop talking in the fake Sanjay voice for a minute, because I'm serious about this. All this stuff I'm talking about. Yeah, war is a blood sacrifice. It's every bit a blood sacrifice that, sacrificing children, sacrificing women. We all know about that stuff. But war is also a blood sacrifice. So, when I hear certain, and I'm not gonna call anyone out here. I'm not really interested in seeding division within the red pill community. However, I will just say this. There are certain individuals within the red pill community who are disinformation, controlled opposition, who they'll be all against pedogate and stuff like that, but then they'll be like, okay, well, war's good though. I support the military-industrial complex, bruh. I support wars. Like, ISIS is totally real, dude. There's no way that ISIS is CIA. That's crazy. There's no way ISIS is CIA, dude. That's fucking crazy, dude. Bruh. And when people are saying stuff like that, basically trying to, give credence and support for war, you should be suspect. That's not to say that ISIS... Well, it's not to say that radical Islam isn't... And I've talked about this before. Obviously, the radical Islam is a problem. Islam is an oppressive religion. It's sort of like... They're sort of like... They kind of make the far right kind of look like a bunch of Ned Flanders or something. You know what I mean? Because they're conservative in the most extremist way possible, to the point of where they kill homosexuals and oppress women and all this, that, and the other. So yes, Islam is still a problem. However, ISIS is the CIA. This is what you must learn. ISIS is the fucking CIA. And the Illuminati likes their words. They like to reuse words that have occult meaning. And guess what, brothers and sisters? ISIS was an Egyptian goddess. And as many of you know, Egypt was, in many ways, the beginning of all this occult shit, okay? Isis was an Egyptian goddess. So it should come as no surprise and come very unusually that this radical Islam group is named after an Egyptian goddess. Food for thought. Food for thought. Okay? And, so yeah. This is why Maharishi's absolute theory of defense is while it's idealistic and well-meaning, ultimately, trying to bring this sort of idea to the military-industrial complex, you have to be like, what are you stupid, bruh? What are you, dumb, bruh? What are you, stupid, bruh? No, seriously, he seems like a good guy, but this must have been written at a time. Well, actually, it seems like it was written in the early 90s. Maybe that was just a reprint, though. I don't know. But, he must not have been aware of the true agenda of the military-industrial complex, because there's no way in a million years they would ever fucking take this on. Even though he's serious, it would, what does he say, it costs, I lost the page. It would cost, practically nothing to teach sort of, consciousness studies and transcendental meditation to the army to implement this. But they don't fucking care about that. They'll spend fucking billions of dollars, multi-millions of dollars on fucking defense. They don't give a shit about money. And they're not gonna spend probably one iota of that on, transcendental meditation stuff, because they want war. They don't want peace. It's all a fucking racket. War is a fucking racket. Now, going on this, about this defense, about self-defense, the thought recently occurred to me is that, see, me, both me, Sanjay, and the actor playing me, Sanjay, Zoran Roberts. Hi, I'm Zoran Roberts. We both suffer from a disease called fibromyalgia. Now, fibromyalgia is sort of like the Asperger's of autoimmune disorders, meaning that it's more of a spectrum. It's like the spectrum disorder of autoimmune disorders. And what I mean by that is that it is nowhere near as severe as other autoimmune disorders such as MS and certainly ALS, like the guy from The Upside. Horrible stuff. Seriously, yeah. Like Stephen Hawking, I don't want to think about that. Shit, fuck that shit. Seriously, fuck that shit. But anyway, getting back into character, fibromyalgia is less severe. It more comes and goes. Unlike other autoimmune disorders, it's, and personally for me, a lot of it's when I sleep. I'll wake up and my arm will be numb. Okay, but then in the morning I'm fine. Okay. And the next morning it may affect my eyes. I'll wake up and my eyes will be in severe pain, but it'll go away. Other times, none of that. Other times, I'll just get muscle aches. It'll go away in a short amount of time. And I've been dealing with it for about a year or so, and it doesn't really progress beyond that. It's just really kind of an annoyance, but it can be really annoying. Now, one way that I find that I deal with it is with diet. And in fact, I'm about to go back on a diet called the Plant Paradox Diet. Now, I'm being serious about this one. And contrary to the title, you can actually eat meat on it. But we won't go into that one. We won't go into that. I'm just saying that is my personal diet that I go to. It's the Plant Paradox Diet. I'm going to go back onto it. Okie doke. Okie doke. And I should get rid of many of the symptoms after a few weeks or so from when I experimented with it last year. That's what I found to be true. But, so diet is one way you can defend yourself against even the viral enemies, even the enemy of sickness. Because I personally believe that sickness could be caused by negative energy, like demonic forces and stuff. It's a possibility. So, what I was going to say, how this pertains to old Maharishi here, is that I've been thinking, and I talked about this in the form of my main character, me personally, Zoran Roberts. I talked about this in my video Drunk Shaman Rant from June 2018. One of the many things I talked about in that video is that my theory that it was my autoimmune disorder was possibly the result of targeting, because I identify as a targeted individual, okay? And switching to my normal voice here, just for the hell of it. Yeah, I do identify as a targeted individual, as many of you know, if you follow me. And I've made 2 or 3 videos about it. And I think that it's possible that my autoimmune disorder might have something to do with it. I don't know. I don't know how they would achieve that if that were the case. Long-range weapons, I don't know. Voodoo. It's hard to say. Because I do have enemies out there. I have at least one confirmed enemy. Many more that are suspected. Because when you do this kind of work, when you spread truth for entertainment, you're bound to get a few enemies. Obviously the main one is Jonathan Hodges. But we won't get too much into all that. So, but what I wanted to say is that a good way to defend yourself against any form of negative energy, whether it's sickness in the form of, sickness from food trying to injure you, or, negative spiritual enemy like hexes and curses and things of that nature, other targeted individual sort of stuff, is chanting positivity, positive prayers, and different types of prayers. Personally, I say the Lord's Prayer at night. I'm also going to be looking into what they call a witch's bottle, which is a bottle where you put different things in it. Personally, I'm not really into witchcraft, but this is more for just protection, like white magic type stuff. And it's supposed to protect you against negative energy. Now, another thing that I do about once or twice a week is I spread sage throughout the house very carefully to get rid of any negative energies. Okay? But another thing that I'm going to start to do is chant positive mantras. Sort of like, and you have to bear with me, I know this might sound comical the way that I'm doing this, but it actually is accurate. It's like, I will be successful. I will overcome all obstacles. I will defeat negativity in myself and others. I will not allow negative energy to destroy me. I will not allow sickness to destroy me. I will build an indefensible fortress inside and outside of myself. I trust in the power and the love of God to protect me in all elements, and sort of things like that. And or you could just do positive, like more of a sing-song sort of thing, like love, love, love. Or one thing that I like to do, and this is true actually, when I see on the clock it says 111, I like to do a little thing that I call how should you say? It's a song from the 90s that some of you may recognize, and I think, and it's called Rockabye. Here we go. And here we go. All right, this is called Rockabye. Everything's going to be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's going to be alright. Rockabye, 111. Rockabye, 111. Everything's going to be alright. Rockabye, 111. Rockabye, 111. So whenever I see 111 on the clock, I chant the song Rockabye, but I input 111 into it. This is true actually, I actually do this. I'm speaking to you in my normal voice because I actually do this. This is post-irony, okay? Where you mix sort of truth with surreal humor, but you're actually talking about meaningful things. That's the definition of post-irony, folks, okay? Look it up. So, yes. So, those tactics and others, and you can invent your own, it's really up to you, as long as the mantras are positive, and talking about how you will defeat negative energy in yourself, and from externally, you will not let other people get you down. You will not, let self-doubt crush you. You will, you will make strives to be successful in your life, things like that, in that general area. And personally, that's how I defend myself. That's my theory of defense. Maharishi has his theory of defense, and I have mine. Okay? Alright, so that about sums it up for this video. Hello, this is Sanjay once more, and I'm here to say, if you liked that video, please, spread some good vibrations by clicking on this subscribe button right here when my hands are doing this thing. And also don't forget to push that like button and also hit the notifications button, to make sure you're notified of each new video. But yes, right here is the subscribe button, and right up here is another video. It's either going to be some sort of conscious comedy skit, discussion, or a music song, or some combination of the three. So that sort of like the laws of three. Like I said earlier. And right here is going to be something very similar. Okay, subscribe, bitches. Thank you very much.